You've spun your last web, Spider-Man. Had you not been so selfish, your little girlfriend's death would have been quick and painless, but now that you've really pissed me off, I'm gonna finish her nice and slow. What's good? What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Bio Spider 3.0, back with another figure review. Can you guess what we're taking a look at today? No, it's not him. There's a hint. It is not him. It is him. This guy right here, the Fallen. Step aside, Green Goblin. Yes, sir. It is none other than the Battle Damaged Spider-Man from Toybiz, the Tobey Maguire 2002 Spider-Man. Battle Damaged version in all his glory. So let's see if I can get him standing up here front and center for us. All right. Let's get some light on this bad boy right here. There he is. There he is. And this figure was provided to me via my buddy Joe. Thank you very much, Mr. Joe. Appreciate you as always, brother. He always hooks me up with some figures, man. Just like out of nowhere, man. It's like we'll just be hanging out, and one day he's like, hey man, look what I got you. And he's always got a new figure for me. So he's solid, man. He's one of the coolest homies I've got. And I really, really appreciate him, man. He doesn't have to do this, but he always does. He always finds a way to get me something new. So, man, I appreciate you, bro. Like you already know, figures come and go, but friends like you mean a lot to me, bro. Just know that. So, anyways, all the fluff out of the way. Let's get into the video, man. This is our guy, man. This is Tobey Maguire, the Spider-Man that a lot of us grew up on. The first guy that we were, used to seeing live action in a Spider-Man suit. And, say what you will about him, but I think he kicked ass in his role, even if, there's been so many different portrayals of Spider-Man, and obviously, you can take your pick. I think there's strengths and weaknesses to, every film version, but, this is the guy that I grew up on, and these are the movies that I've watched, time and time again. I mean, countless times, man. Tobey Maguire was the guy that I had in my head when I thought of Spider-Man, as a kid. So, that was the first Spider-Man that I wanted to be like. And, to see this figure, man, it's crazy. In retrospect, it's so crazy. I feel like for a long time I didn't even know that they had made a battle damaged version of him. And then, at some point I did find out when I was, younger, I did find out that they did make a battle damaged version of him. And I remember watching a stop motion video of, this figure, Spider-Man versus the Green Goblin. So they were basically recreating the last fight scene from the first movie. Man, that is one of the most brutal fights, man. Like, to this day, that fight still blows my mind, how realistic they were able to make it look. Sam Raimi is a hell of a director, man. That last fight was so brutal, and I just remember being like, damn, like, if I was Spider-Man, would I be able to, take a beating like that and still get back up and dish it back out, like, that's crazy. Like, he really had, he had his ass handed to him in that last fight. And, as a kid, it's like, it's almost, terrifying to see your favorite character get beat up like that. But obviously he rose again, and he dished it back out. He went hard in the paint, and Goblin ended up, well, offing himself. not intentionally, but that's what he did. So but anyways, man, I'm so excited for this figure. So let's not waste too much time. Let's get straight into the review. So let's take a close look at it, man. Let's look at all the details on his suit, because they are absolutely amazing, man. Like, look at this. Look at the level of detail in his suit, man. All the scratches, the like all the ripped parts of his costume, everything just looks absolutely gnarly, man. I mean, look at his chest. Like, he's got all these different scratches and things going through the torso. Look at all that battle damage, man. That is raw as hell, man. It looks so cool to see this in figure form, because it looks so movie accurate. Like, even the way like his mask is and how they ripped it, got that little, you got that one piece kind of just coming down the side, and then this, whole side of his face is like exposed right here. And I want to say they did a really, really nice job with the head sculpt, man. I mean, keep in mind, this figure is probably from like 2002 or like around there, around the same time that the movie came out. So it's like well over a decade old, and it's just, it's phenomenal, man. Like that looks like Tobey Maguire, how he looked in the movie. All this detail in the the lens, the cracked lens right there. You can see his other eye, showing under there. I really like the flesh tone of his skin and everything. You can just see like all the little scuff marks on his face and everything. Like, that's raw, dude. It's raw. Look at that. It's crazy, man. It just blows my mind how much detail that Toy Biz was able to get into their figures, and the fact that Hasbro can't, recreate that with a lot of like their modern day stuff. I'm not even gonna say that they can't recreate it. It's like it's almost like they don't want to, It's just like, come on, man. Like, you guys are charging 25 a figure. Like, we should be getting detail like this in every figure that we get. You know what I mean? Or at least, every figure that warrants, this type of detail, like, we should be getting it every time, because these figures aren't cheap these days, man. They're only going up in price. So I feel like for almost 30 bucks we should be getting this level of detail every time. But that's just me. But you guys can let me know how you feel about that. But I am just blown away by this. And keep in mind, this being a Toy Biz figure, like way back in the days, this guy probably costed like, way less than what Hasbro's charging now. I imagine that this guy, when he first came out, probably only went for like, I don't know, maybe 10, 15, something like that. I'll have to look up the price, and I'll update that if I remember in the description when I find the actual price for this guy, like when he first came out. But I imagine he couldn't have been more than like 15 bucks when he first came out, and probably less than that. So for this amount of detail, I mean, it's absolutely insane. You're definitely getting, I would say your value per dollar, man, because this guy is absolutely just amazing, like gnarly. Look at all those details. Even in the back, you can just see all the ripped, parts of the costume going on again. Like even in his arms, look at the arms, man. Arms are all ripped up here, and they kind of put like just hints of like slight red paint to make it look like there's like a little bit of blood on him. I'm sure they didn't want to make it look, too gory or anything, because I'm sure they knew, kids were going to be getting these figures, and, parents probably wouldn't have wanted their kids playing with something that looked like, all gory and bloodied up, a bunch of flesh wounds everywhere and stuff. So, they went light on it, but you can see that they definitely got like little hints of red in there, like, underneath, to kind of like make it look like he has cuts and bruises under the ripped parts of his costume. And I think that is just such a cool detail, man. Look at all that. Oh, that is crazy, dude. I love it, man. I absolutely love it. And I'm not saying that this figure is like 100% accurate as far as like all, where all the cuts and tears are in his suit and all that, but I mean, it looks pretty damn good to me. I mean, I don't care if it's not like 100% how it looked in the movie. I mean, this is a great representation of, that final fight. So I really, really do enjoy this figure. I like that big cut right there on his shoulder, that open, tear right there. And like the kind of, you can tell they put like some darker shading to make it look like his skin got, cut. And it's kind of, I guess like the swelling around the wound and everything. Oh, that's just raw, dude. Absolutely love this figure. So, I mean, he is basically the exact same figure as the, non-battle damage version that I reviewed, earlier on the channel. It's like the exact same figure with obviously just, the battle damage added to him. But that battle damage, man, I gotta tell you, it takes him like to a whole new level. It's crazy. And I want to say that they actually use like some lighter blue paint, at least for the legs here on this battle damage version. I don't know if they did like maybe a spray paint or an airbrush, but it seems like there's like lighter sections of blue in the middle, like towards his quads, like in the thigh region right here. It definitely seems like there's some lighter blue going. and then when you get to the side, you get to some more of that like dark blue, or they might have actually just done like a lighter blue for the entire leg, and then like shaded, used like a black wash or some kind of shading for like the darker parts that you see on him, like the muscle groups and all that. Because when you compare it with the non-battle damage version right here, hopefully, let's see, I don't want to block too much light, but hopefully you guys can see here. You can see that, the non-battle damage version, he has like a much darker blue for the most of his, most of his legs, most parts. So it's like a darker blue, and then you can see there's like lighter, a lot lighter blue on this battle damage version. So that's a detail that I picked up on. The upper part, like the torso and the arms, like the blue up there on the upper part, that seems to be mostly the same. I would actually say maybe it's a little bit darker, at least on the sides for this battle damage version, which makes sense because, he's been rolling around through dirt and, been getting tossed around through brick walls and whatnot, glass. So, he should be dirtier in appearance. But, yeah, there's just some, some subtle differences that I wanted to point out between the two. But this guy is absolutely incredible, dude. Like, oh man, I love this figure so much. And, I was definitely planning on picking him up, from like eBay or wherever I could find him for a good price. And Joe just happened to, we hung out one day and Joe was like, "Hey man, look what I got you." And it's like, dang, bro, like you read my mind. This is the figure that, I was looking to get next after I reviewed, the original version. So really, really appreciate him again for picking this up for me. Such a dope figure. Articulation is obviously going to be, the exact same, but we'll run through it real quick for play and display. So the head is able to look up that far. All right. So he's got that part. He's able to look up that far. Looking down goes about that far. All right. Kind of looks like he's just looking on straight, but I mean, that's that's pretty much what you get with this type of older articulation. You've got the separate neck piece, so it does rotate individually of the head, so you are able. And again, this head is loose, kind of just like the original version was, so it is kind of, it's got that loose wobbly thing going on, but it's not too bad. You can definitely still pose him, and he's not gonna flop around too much, but he does rotate all the way around on the neck there. You get some side-to-side leaning just a little bit to each side. So that's all good. Arm movement, he's able to come up at almost a 90 degrees, maybe just shy because, the sculpt of the shoulder, he's got like some big broad shoulders and it does kind of stop it from going up any further than that. So he might be a little bit shy of a 90, but again, not too bad. And it kind of feels like it's spring loaded from the inside, just like how the original one did. So it kind of pulls back a little bit, but you do have that. You've got a nice bicep swivel cut in there, just like the original. You have double jointed elbows. Let him get back that far. Can extend back out, all good. He does have forearm rotation. So there is rotation there at the forearm. Nice cut there. Pretty seamless, so that's nice. We've got a hinge for the hands. Horizontal hinge, so hands can bend in and out like so. See that? You've got articulated fingers, at least for the the two middle fingers. So he is able to get the flip poses as you saw at the beginning of the review with my little skit there. Hope you enjoyed that. But yeah, here he is with the flipping pose. So he is able to bend the curl these two middle fingers in. And again, that little dot in the center of his hand there to kind of represent a web shooter, which was not present in the movie, but it is still here on the figure, so that's really cool. So we've got that going. Rest of the fingers are static. Let's see, he does have the waist twist there. No, upper torso articulation. Oh, actually, I'm tripping, bro. I'm tripping. Yes, he does. It was, wow. It's so nicely cut. It's such a good scene that it actually blended in for a second. I didn't even realize that he had it, but he does. He does have that upper diaphragm joint, so he is able to bend forward just ever so slightly, just a little bit back. And then if you utilize, all of the hips, he's able to get back a little bit farther there, of course. Come forward a little bit more, keeping the legs straight, you know. Let's see, if I keep the legs like all the way straight and just bend them forward all the way down, like from the hips, he's able to bend very far down, basically almost like 90 degrees going straight. Not so much coming back, but you know, to be expected. And then for the legs out to the side, he is able to do a perfect splits, which is very, very nice. So you do have perfect splits out of this guy. I think I forgot to show out to the side on the original version, but articulation is the same. So now you know that they both can do it. Let's see, let's get his arm looking a little normal here, not so disjointed. Kicking forward, he's able to get that much range. I'd say a little bit better than 90 for sure. He can kick up, you know, very nicely coming out. Front kick, back kick, not so much. Runs into the sculpt in the back. It is definitely a hard plastic, so it's not really going to push beyond that. He does have a upper thigh swivel, which is really good. Nice, pretty seamless thigh swivel in there. He's got double jointed knees that allow him to kick his own ass. And yeah, just about like straight to his butt cheek. So there you go. Back down, we've got the feet on a hinge that can hinge down pretty much all the way to the tippy toes. Very nice. He's got some Michael Jackson going there. And then we've got the feet can hinge up that far, so he's able to kick up about that much. No, I mean, very slight ankle rocker in there. Very slight, definitely not really Hasbro level, you know, modern day Hasbro Marvel Legends, but he does have a little bit of a swivel in there, so that's nice. And a toe hinge, of course, all right? So it can go up that far and then back down, like he broke his toes or broke his foot. So yeah, man, that is pretty much his articulation. No butterfly joints or anything like that, right? Because this is an older figure. I think this is before I want to say the McFarlane Spider-Man was the first time that they did the butterfly joint for Toy Biz, but I could be wrong on that. That's definitely like one of their earliest figures that featured a butterfly joint. Kind of changed the game, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, this guy does not have it, just very regular, standard ball and hinge type of shoulder. So yeah, and that's pretty much his articulation. You know, he is, of course, let's see, is he? Oh, I take that back. I thought he was able to swivel or like rotate more side to side from this top diaphragm joint, but not really. Doesn't really allow him to rotate. He just has the waist rotation. That's pretty much all you get as far as rotation at the top. But that should be good enough. You know, I'll definitely take it. So yeah, man, another dope Spider-Man figure. Very, very happy to have it in my collection. I've wanted it for a long time, you know. I mean, I was always blown away by the details of it. I mean, just, you know, everything about this dude looks absolutely raw and fantastic, man. Reminds me of the movie so much. All those tears and cuts and wounds, like, I mean, that face sculpt, oh man. It's like, he's got, like, I really love the expression that they captured on his face too. Because this looks like the expression that he had while Norman was kind of like explaining to him, you know, like why he was a Green Goblin and all that. And basically trying to sweet talk Peter into, you know, not beating him up anymore. And trying to trick him so he could, you know, stab him with his freaking glider, but ended up stabbing himself. But yeah, man, like that. I mean, he just looks so freaking good. I mean, just look at that head sculpt. Does that not remind you of like the 2002 movie? And that to me is one of the best like Toby head sculpts that I've ever seen, especially for such an old figure. I mean, I love how they like you could just even see the hair and everything coming from underneath the mask. When the mask got torn up, I mean, that definitely looks like him. So it just blows my mind that they were able to do something like this so long ago. I mean, wow, absolutely wow. The sculptor, whoever sculpted this figure, hey man, A+ job to you. I mean, for the time, this is absolutely exceptional and it holds up very, very well to this day, man. I mean, that to me is like the best, one of the best Spider-Man head sculpts I've ever seen. Like, no lie, man. Absolutely dope. Fire work on this figure, man. Got that back spider logo, of course, just like the original. Still continued. You can see all look at the scratches going up even through his back. Even kind of cuts into like the bottom of the logo there a bit. Oh man, that is too cool, man. Too freaking cool. So yeah, man, that's it. That is my review on the battle damaged version of Spider-Man from the 2002 Sam Raimi film by Toybiz. This figure anyway. So let's go ahead and get him with some size comparisons, and we will get on out of here, man. So hope you guys are enjoying the steady flow of reviews lately. My plan is to try to keep it that way as much as I can, because I do still have quite a few figures to take a look at on the channel. But I also have other things to do, throughout my day. So I'm always trying to make time for these videos on the weekend when I can. Through the week, it's pretty much impossible. I got too much going on, work and other things. But on the weekends is when I try to crank out these videos for you guys. So hopefully I'll be able to get around to the other ones as soon as possible, not keep you guys waiting too long. But yeah, that's my plan. So let's go ahead and get them with some size comparisons in here. So again, we'll take a look. We'll get him right next to his counterpart, the unbattle damaged version, right? His twin, his non-battle damaged twin. Shall get them standing side by side here. You can see height-wise, obviously they should be pretty much like exactly the same. One thing that I did notice about the like between these two figures, like another, I guess, small difference or whatever you want to call it. It seems like the shape of the lenses on this non-battle damaged version, you can see like how big the eyes are, right? Like they're not that big or like wide. So like you see that, right? And then if you look at this battle damaged version, it seems like the lens is a lot bigger. And I think they had to like make it that way just to like so that they would have room to like put the eye underneath. But it definitely seems like the lens on this battle damaged version is a bit like wider than the one on the standard version. But yeah, that's just something I wanted to point out. I'm sure, because this is like, excuse me, this is an all new head sculpt, right? So they had to, kind of keep the same shape, but also like reshape, a lot of things on the front of the face to have it look like this. So I feel like they made the lens for this one a little bit wider, which makes sense, But I just wanted to point that out. Definitely seems like a little bit bigger of a lens on this battle damage version, but I don't have any complaints about that. I think it came out looking phenomenal, and just like it should, pretty much. So there you have those two figures. All right, so let's go ahead and get them with the Green Goblin from the same movie. All right, let's go ahead and get our main antagonist, Green Goblin, up in here next to him, the guy that dealt him all this damage and pain. All right, his main adversary in the movie. So here we have the Toybiz Green Goblin next to him. Height-wise, they are very similar. I'd actually say maybe Peter's head is just a little bit over the top of the Green Goblin, or maybe they're just about the same. It's kind of hard to say, but there you go. So they're pretty similar in height there. So there you have it. Let's get him with the New 52 All-Stars DC Universe Classics Batman. That is still a mouthful to say, but there you go. Here we got him next to the Bat. And Batman is a little bit taller than him for sure. It's probably hard to tell from this angle, but Batman definitely does have a little bit of height on him. Let's see. Make sure his head's kind of straight here. He's got that bobblehead thing going on, so his head kind of just falls. But take my word, he is a little bit taller than Peter here, even though it might not look it on camera. But there you have it. There's Batman. Let's get him. Maybe if I scoot him back a bit, maybe that'll help with the size comparison so you guys get a better sense of just how tall he is. I'm going to start doing height measurements again too. That's a segment of the video that I'm definitely going to start bringing back. I just haven't been doing it lately because I feel like, it's a little excessive when I do so many different height comparisons and then, do a height measurement too, and that would just make the videos longer, and they're already, long enough. A lot of them are too long. So I'm trying to, cut down time, if anything. Here is the Amazing Spider-Man from the No Way Home 3-pack with him. All right. So there you go. You got battle damaged Spidey and a modern day, another Spidey from another dimension, let's say, Andrew Garfield. All right. So there you have those two, and they're actually pretty similar in height, almost neck and neck, just about the same height. Even though he should be a little bit taller, which I guess I would say he is just a little bit, but I think in the movie it's a little bit more apparent how much taller he is than him. So there you have that. Let's get him with the wall sticking web Spider-Man. All right. Another really dope figure, and he's definitely a little bit bigger than this battle damaged Spider-Man. So there you have those two. Looking good, looking good. All right, let's get him with the Monster Venom Build-A-Figure wave Carnage. Absolutely love this figure. Carnage, Carnage, Carnage. Cletus Cassidy, there he is. He's definitely a little bit bigger. He's got some size on this battle damaged Spider-Man, for sure. Let's get him with Ned Leeds from the No Way Home 2-pack. Or yeah, was it the No Way Home? It's technically based off of like Homecoming, as far as like the look that he's in, but I think it might have been a No Way Home, I guess 2-pack or whatever. But either way, here is Ned Leeds. All right, so there you go, Ned Leeds from Hasbro, from that Peter Parker Ned 2-pack. Let's get him with, how about MJ? Good old MJ back here. Michelle Jones, that is. All right. So now we've got her with Peter. Peter, which one was it? I think he's Peter 2, right? And I think Andrew Garfield was Peter 3. So here she is with Peter 2. All right. And she's a taller girl, so she should be, I think she's 5'10" in real life, and I want to say Tobey Maguire is about 5'10". I think I want to say he's like 5'9" or 5'10", so that should be pretty accurate. They should be just about the same height. So let me actually turn him just a little bit more this way. Okay, try to keep him nice and straight here. But yeah, there you go. They should be pretty similar in height. So there you go. Oh, why am I taking him out? I should be taking her out. Tripping. All right, let me put him back. And last but not least, we'll get him with another Spidey character. We gotta get him with my boy, Mr. Miles Morales from Into the Spider-Verse by Mafex. So here we have him with Miles Morales. And you can see he's obviously a lot shorter than Toby, as he should be. Kid versus adult, so there you have it. So there it is, guys. That's my review on the battle damage version of Spider-Man from the 2002 movie by Sam Raimi. And this is a Toybiz figure, of course. Yeah, absolutely love it, man. 10 out of 10. I mean, I can't really ask for much more, out of this figure. It exceeds my expectations for the most part. It's highly posable. This has all the same articulation as the standard version, and that was a super posable Spider-Man. So you're going to be able to get this guy into, all the same poses, and just having that battle damaged aesthetic to him really just, takes it to the next level. I mean, this guy looks absolutely amazing. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the review. As always, appreciate you for watching. If you're new, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any new content that I drop. We'll be talking about, figure reviews, comics, movies, all types of stuff on this channel. I know so far it's, all been figure reviews. Trust me, though, I am getting to that other stuff that I promised, the comics, the movies, art, music, all types of stuff. So this is just the beginning of the channel, and it's been a ride. And I just appreciate all you guys for rocking with me thus far, and please continue to do so. And I appreciate you all. This is your boy Bio, signing out. Peace and love. Have a great rest of your weekends. Be safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. And they say that a hero can save us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait.